Is there actually such a thing as having too many credit cards? Well, the short answer is yes. However, this is slightly more complicated than that, so let's talk about it. Now, generally, when I say too many credit cards, I'm talking about the amount of credit cards that when you cross that number, it could actually have negative impact not only on your credit score, but also on your finances, which I think is equally important. Now, before I jump into this video, just a quick disclaimer. This video is not a financial advice. I'm just simply sharing my opinion and experience. However, you are solely responsible for your own financial situation. So let's start with this question. What is the ultimate number of the credit cards? Now, some individuals decide to have only 3 credit cards, some 5, 7, and some even 10. But for good credit score, I would suggest to have minimum 3 to 5 credit cards. However, this will be also dependent on some other factors, which I'm gonna talk about a little bit later in this video. So if you're just starting to build your credit history, and let's say you open the first credit card, I would only suggest opening maybe additional 1 credit card or 2, and that's actually important for a few different good reasons. So let's say you open this first 2 or 3 credit cards, then instead of trying to open some other credit cards, using the credit cards that you already have responsibly will actually have better effect, because if you're trying to open too many credit accounts, you will have too many inquiries in your credit report, and that's actually the negative thing. And also, if you only have 2 or 3 credit cards in the beginning, it will be definitely easier for you to manage these accounts. And then when you pay all the statement balances in full, obviously you will pay 0 interest on the cards. And even if you make new purchases before the statement actually closes, this will actually give you good debt to credit ratio. And that's also very important because it has huge impact on your credit score. And if you're using only a small percentage of your total available credit, then most likely after just few months, some of these credit cards will increase the limit, and obviously that's good for your credit score, but also your overall credit may improve, which then will give you another opportunity to open some better credit cards. Obviously, I would suggest to do it after some time. Then you can only open the credit cards that you really want, with preferably 0 or low annual fees, and credit cards that give you the best rewards in the same time. I personally only use credit cards that give me actual cash rewards, but that's because me and my family don't really travel much. However, your situation might be different. Now, this is the really important part. If let's say you already have like 5 or 6 credit cards, and these credit cards have good amount limit for you to use monthly, and you don't really need extra credit cards, 5 to 7 is really good amount. Then after that, to build your credit score even better, I would actually suggest opening some small loan, for example, let's say $4,000 or $2,000 from your local bank or federal credit union. Obviously, make sure the interest is not too high on it. And the reason you want to do this, especially when you're building your credit, is that by having this kind of mixed credit, if you will, this will have more positive impact on your credit score than, for example, just opening another credit card. Now keep in mind, and this is important, that initially when you open this line of credit, even though it's a small loan, your credit score might actually drop down slightly. However, when you're paying this loan, for example, for 6 months or especially over a year, and obviously make the payments on time, then that credit score not only will come back to the previous stage, but it will grow even more since you're showing responsible use of mixed credit. And now here is the main 3 reasons why you don't want to have too many credit cards. First reason is if you have too many credit card accounts, let's say 10 or 12 or even more, then it can become very hectic for you to manage all the accounts, and especially to benefit from all the rewards you're supposed to get, simply because you're gonna stretch your shopping for all the 10 accounts or so. The second reason is because let's say you have 12 credit card accounts, it's way easier to lose control this way. So even if you're trying your best, you may occasionally forget some payment, and obviously that's gonna be really bad for your credit and finances too, since you may end up paying some fees and etc. And the third reason why you shouldn't have too many credit card accounts is that if, for example, you have 10 different credit cards, but you're only using generally 7 or 8, and the other 2 cards are kind of sitting on the shelf, if you will, or even they're in your wallet but you're not using them, then there is some credit status called dormant, and just as it sounds, it's basically indicating to all the creditors that even though you have these credit card accounts but you're not using them, so that can actually be bad for your credit score, although it's not gonna be as negative as some other factors like not paying on time and etc., but it can still have some negative impact on your score, which you definitely don't want. So look, 5 to 7 credit cards is a good number. Remember, the most important thing is that you're using these cards responsibly and you use the credit cards that really benefit you with good rewards. Speaking of which, I always use this Capital One Rewards credit card, so make sure to check that video if you want to know about it. And as always, thank you for watching.